Living on just $300 a month in the United States sounds impossible. That's less than what most people casually spend on coffee runs, takeout, gas, or streaming subscriptions without even thinking twice. Rent alone in most cities can wipe that out in a matter of days. Groceries, utilities, transportation, it adds up fast. So I decided to actually try it for a full month to find out if surviving on $300 is truly possible, or just another viral social media fantasy that falls apart in real life. No sponsorships, no outside help, no secret safety nets. Every dollar counted. Every decision mattered. I tracked every expense, faced real trade-offs, and pushed my comfort zone in ways I didn't expect. By the end of this video, you'll see exactly where the money went, what I had to sacrifice, what surprised me most, and whether living on $300 a month is realistic or a financial nightmare. Let's start. Before starting, I set strict, non-negotiable rules. If this was going to mean anything, it had to be real. My total monthly budget was $300, roughly $10 per day, for absolutely everything: food, housing, transportation, hygiene, phone service, and any random expense that popped up. No extra categories, no hidden buffers. I couldn't dip into savings. I couldn't swipe a credit card. I couldn't accept help from friends or family. If something cost money, it had to come out of that $300. Period. That rule alone completely changed how I thought about every purchase. Even a $3 snack suddenly felt like a serious decision. The biggest obstacle was housing. Rent in the US is brutally expensive, and in most cities, $300 wouldn't even cover a week. So I had to get creative. I found roommates and negotiated a short-term arrangement where I only paid a heavily reduced portion of rent, plus utilities. It wasn't glamorous: shared spaces, minimal privacy, basic setup, but it gave me a roof over my head without instantly destroying the budget. Food required an actual strategy. No eating out, no delivery apps, no convenience purchases. I planned simple, repetitive meals built around rice, beans, pasta, eggs, oats, and whatever produce was discounted that week. I compared prices per ounce, bought store brands, and focused on calories per dollar. Cooking at home wasn't optional. It was survival. Transportation was another major factor. I relied on public transit and walked whenever possible. No ride shares, no spontaneous trips. Every mile had to be intentional. Even small transportation costs could quietly drain the budget if I wasn't careful. I also had to think about things people rarely budget for: toiletries, laundry, phone bills, and unexpected expenses. There was no miscellaneous cushion. If something unexpected happened, I'd have to cut from somewhere else, probably food. This experiment wasn't about living comfortably or proving some hustle mindset. It was about testing survival. What actually happens when resources are extremely limited? How do priorities shift? And how quickly does financial pressure start affecting your daily decisions and mental state? That's what I was about to find out. The first week was pure shock. I walked into the grocery store thinking I had a solid plan. Simple meals, basic ingredients, nothing fancy. But even the essentials added up fast. Eggs, rice, beans, oats, pasta. Reasonable. Then I added fresh fruit, vegetables, maybe some chicken, and suddenly my total jumped way higher than expected. I found myself putting items back on the shelf, calculating cost per meal in real time. I'd never analyzed a $4 purchase so intensely in my life. By week 2, reality really set in. It wasn't just food. It was soap, laundry, toothpaste, phone service, internet. All the small, recurring costs that usually feel automatic started looking like luxury items. I realized how deceptive subscriptions and routine expenses are. They quietly drain your money without you noticing. When your daily limit is $10, even a $2 mistake feels huge. Week 3 was the hardest mentally. The novelty wore off and the restrictions felt heavy. I skipped social events because even grabbing a cheap coffee would wreck my daily budget. I avoided unnecessary travel. I said no more than I ever had before. It was isolating. Financial stress isn't just about numbers. It's about feeling limited and constantly calculating. But there were unexpected positives. Cooking at home became normal, and I actually got better at it. Walking everywhere saved money, and I felt healthier and more energized. Most importantly, I started respecting every dollar. Money stopped being abstract and became time, effort, and trade-offs. This challenge didn't just change my spending, it changed how I see money entirely. At the end of the month, here's exactly where the $300 went. Housing, $140. Food, $95. Transportation, $25. Internet and phone, $30. Other essentials, toiletries, laundry, random basics, $10. That left almost nothing, just a few dollars of breathing room. And that tiny margin felt fragile the entire time. The biggest takeaway? Living on $300 a month is technically possible, but only under very specific conditions and with extreme sacrifices. I had reduced housing costs, no medical emergencies, no car payment, no debt, and no surprise bills. If any one thing had gone wrong, a prescription, a broken phone, even a required trip somewhere, the entire budget would have collapsed instantly. There's zero margin for error at this level, no room for fun, no space for investing, no ability to build long-term security. You're not planning for the future, you're just surviving the present. What surprised me most wasn't the hunger or the inconvenience, it was the mental weight. Constantly calculating every purchase is exhausting. Every dollar has to justify its existence. Financial pressure follows you everywhere. This experiment made one thing very clear. Budgeting is powerful, but budgeting alone can't solve everything. Cutting expenses has limits. You can only shrink your life so much before there's nothing left to cut. Saving money matters, discipline matters, but increasing income? That's the real game changer. Because survival is one thing, stability and growth are something completely different. So here's the real question. Would you try living on $300 a month? Be honest. What would you cut first? Housing? Food? Subscriptions? Transportation? Drop a comment below and tell me how you'd make it work, or why you think it's completely unrealistic. If you enjoyed this real-life finance experiment, hit the like button so I know to keep making videos like this. And subscribe if you want to see more extreme money challenges, transparent budget breakdowns, and practical strategies that actually work in the real world. I'm thinking about pushing this even further. Maybe living on $1,000 a month, trying minimum wage budgets in different cities or countries, or testing different side hustle survival plans. Let me know what challenge you want to see next. See you in the next video.